So when we put out a reader survey a couple of months ago, we asked, what was your favorite thing about season 1 of growing Floret, and what were you most excited to learn about in season 2? And overwhelmingly, people wanted to hear about the development of the farm, about the hedgerow plantings, about all of the permanent bigger things that we had done. And so, of course, you get to see that in the episodes, especially the 4th one. But I also wanted to create a series of resources to go along with it to answer all those questions. So one of the biggest things that we've done here on the farm is we have planted over a mile of hedges and hedgerows around the property. So the benefits to hedgerows are that they slow down wind, so that it helps prevent erosion. They create a habitat for songbirds and wildlife, and they also create a pollen and nectar source for pollinators. So we have planted them along all the edges of our field blocks and then all around the gardens up closer to the buildings. And so we have a lot of different varieties that we have grown in this situation, and I have learned so much about it. So over on the blog, there is a really long new post. Well, actually there's 3 of them. The first one is called Making a Place, and it is the whole process of transforming the farm from this blank slate of a field into what I call a place or a sanctuary. And it's kind of the whole story of what we've gone through, and then we do a deeper dive into hedges and hedgerows and pollinator strips if you're interested. So along with the pollinator or the hedgerow resource, you can download plans for my favorite hedgerow with all the varieties and the number of plants that we used. And then this is the best part. This is a full list of all of the plants that I've used in this experiment of hedgerows that are ornamental and which ones have made the cut and performed super well. So you've got that full list, and at the bottom of that post, you can go download this. And then there's also one for a pollinator strip, which we talk more about. We planted these really awesome perennial strips of flowering plants to attract more pollinators. And so it shows like the planting plan for it and then how many plants we included in it. And this is also at the bottom of that post. So if you want those resources, they're free to get. You can go there, you just enter your email, and then it sends it to you and you can print it out. So those are super cool. But I wanted to show you, this is a hedgerow that we planted in the spring of 2020. And so it has gotten some serious size on it, and the plants that went in the ground were tiny. They were not massive plants. We started with like really inexpensive, smaller things. And the idea behind this is not only do we want to create all of those wonderful things for pollinators and wildlife and slowing the wind, but I wanted to see which varieties would be suitable for incorporating into this style of planting that you could also cut for bouquets. And if you were growing for market, I wanted to see, would this situation work for planting along the edges of flower farms? Like, would this be a doable solution for flower farmers that are short on land? And also, would this be doable for home gardeners wanting to invite more wildlife into their garden, but they want something low maintenance, but that's also attractive and beautiful? So often a hedgerow is made of native plants, and we have a big, beautiful native hedgerow out in the back of the farm where it's kind of a more wild space. But I wanted to see, could we substitute some of those plants with more ornamental versions to make something that was a little bit more, not designery, but kind of. And so far I have been so pleased with the results of this. So we've done a bunch of different planting schemes. So far I've shared my favorite one with you, and then all of the plants in there. But if you want to just like get lost in the world of farm development and hedges and hedgerows and pollinator strips, definitely I've got links here if you want to go read those posts. They're really good. They're very long. They have lots of photos, and I hope they inspire you. And if you watch season 2 of Growing Floret, you'll get to see lots of drone views of the farm. We go deep dive into all the things that we've done on the farm to, just like really work with nature. There's a lot to learn. So if you haven't watched season 2 yet, I hope you enjoy it.